Hi, and welcome to Teach With Me. I am Miss Jen. Today we are going to be learning how to make 4 different kinds of snowmen in your kindergarten first grade classroom. Let's begin. The first one we're going to do is a card. It's a cute snowman card, and all we do is we are going to first, let me start over, sorry. We're going to fold a piece of blue construction paper in half, because when we're done with the snowman, we are going to have the kids trace this and then put it inside, and then we'll fold it together, and that will be our card. And it says, "Dear family, I hope you have a special holiday. I love you very much. Let's go play in the snow together. Love," and then they'll write their own name here. So if you have a font that'll do this for you, that's perfect. All right, let me show you how to do the snowman really quickly. You're going to have the kids put 3 different size snowballs here. Now the easiest way to do that is to have them pre-cut, but that's not the most useful way for the kids. What I do is I have these traced out on size by sizes. So they'll have a big circle, a medium-sized circle, and a smaller circle that they need to cut out, because that gives them that practice cutting. That's super important. Once that's done, once they have their circles cut out, they're going to glue them on. You're going to tell them to make sure their circles touch so their snowman's not floating. They're going to decorate their snowman with, and I have all the pieces on a tray at their center that they'll be using to decorate their snowmen. I have googly eyes and these adhesive stickers. I have fabric already pre-cut, and I have hats that are already pre-cut. This is made with sponge painting. I'm going to tell them to sponge paint all the way around to make it look like snow on their card. And that is all. So once that's made, I'm going to glue that in or staple it in, fold it in half, and this is ready to go. My next snowman is a counting by 10 snowman. This is super easy to do, very functional. Let me show you how this works. You're going to already have, excuse me for that. You're going to already have made these. The kids are going to trace all the numbers first, then they're going to cut out every circle. I made mine a little too small, a little too big, because my sentence frame is a little too small for this size of a circle. So if you'll notice on my sample, I had to put a little bit of another sentence frame attached to it. So you want to size it out so that you can make sure it all fits on one sentence frame. That makes it really easy for your planning purposes. Anyway, once these are all cut out, the boys and girls are going to start putting them on their sentence frame. And so they start at the very bottom and they put their 10, then their 20, and the circles, the snowballs need to touch. And what I hope that they notice as they're laying these on, that these numbers in the tens place go up by 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The snowman's face is made with the 100, and then you just put a hat, a pre-made hat on top, and that is it. All right, our third snowman is a little more complicated. This one needs, this one's on symmetry, by the way. So you're going to need a piece of blue construction paper, light blue, a piece of white construction paper, the things to decorate the snowman, of course. You're going to need some snowflakes that are in the 2 colors of the construction paper we're using. I used a punch to make them. I've seen them purchased before, like in the store. I've seen some pre-made sticker ones that will work as well. You'd have to buy those, of course. All right, so I'm going to show you how to make this. This one you would definitely need to do in small group, because it's a little more complicated with the colors. You see you have the white snowman's on the blue side and the blue snowman's on the white side. All right, so let's begin. I'm going to get my papers ready and show you. So you're going to take your blue paper and your white paper, and you're going to fold them both in half. Once you have your white paper folded in half, you're going to open it up, and you're going to take your blue paper and cut it apart, and you're going to glue on 1/2 of that onto the back of your white paper. So let me just show you. This is the white paper, and I have glued on the blue half that I've cut apart onto the white paper. The next thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to have some frames. On all of these papers, or on all of these snowmen, each child is going to need to have a frame that has been traced. It needs to start at the top and go all the way to the bottom because it needs to be the entire length of the paper. So they're going to cut that out. Now, if you cut it out while it's folded, it will make a full snowman. So you're going to need to cut your own paper. Let me say this over. They're going to need to cut this on a half sheet because what you're going to want to end up with is this, which is a half of a snowman. You don't want them to have the full snowman. And then you're going to have a white, you're going to do the same thing on the white paper too, so that these two pieces fit together like this. All right, so this is going to entail a lot of tracing. So let me just let me find my scissors here. Let me just show you what you need to have prepared. Before you begin this project, each child is going to need to have a half sheet that looks like this that has a snowman traced, and they all have to be the same. That's why these have to be done ahead of time, because otherwise they're going to be different and then they won't match up. Okay, so they're going to need one. They're going to need one of these on white and one of these on blue, light blue. All right, let me put those aside. Now let me talk to you about the symmetry for a moment. When we're talking symmetry, I'm going to tell the boys and girls they need to put their googly eyes in the same place on both sides. I'm going to tell them when they do the mouth, they need to have the sparkles, 2 on the one side in the same spot, 2 on the other side, and the one that's in the middle needs to straddle the line between the two. Same thing with the nose. Half on one side, half on the other side. If they do the buttons, it needs to be in a pattern. Half on one side, half on the other side. For the snowflakes, same idea. You're going to tell them to put the blue on the white side and the white on the blue side, and it needs to go in exactly the same spot. And you'll have to watch the kids, because a lot of kids won't quite understand. Well, some kids won't quite understand this, and they might put all their snowflakes on one side. They won't realize that they're supposed to be making sure it has the same number and that it's in the same exact spot. Hold on, let me pull another one out. Okay, now as for the fabric, you're going to already have pre-cut your fabric, and it needs to be exactly half and half. You'll notice on my sample, I did not, I had forgotten about that part of it, and I couldn't pull this back up. So do as I say, not as I do. For the symmetry one, it needs to be even, and it needs to be the same on both sides. Okay? Now this last one is just cute. It's a 3-sided snowman, and it's made, you can choose to decorate all 3 sides the same or different, make all different looking snowmen, that's up to you. Or you can choose to leave them blank as the back sides of the snowman. It is up to you. I'll show you how to make this in just a moment. Let me show you a few other things you can do with this 3-sided shape. This is a Christmas tree that can stand up. It's a 3-sided Christmas tree. And if you want, you could do this and have them decorate all 3 sides. You can also use it as a writing sequencing thing. So first I make a snowball, then I make 2 more snowballs. Next I stack my snowballs on top of each other. Last I decorate my snowman with a scarf, eyes, nose, and buttons. If I did this, what I would do is I would put a piece of paper on my snowman that they have written on first before. I wouldn't have them write directly on here. This is just something that I wanted to show you today. So dotted lined paper, I would have them write that on there, glue it on here, each of these sentences, I would have them glue it on, not write directly on here. That's just my preference. All right, let me show you how to make these. So for this one, each child needs 3 of the shapes. And so all I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in half, and I'll have pre-made these for the kids. They're just cutting them out because, again, they all have to be the same size. If they're not the same size, they're not going to stand up and they're not going to connect properly. So I'll have pre-made this part. I'm just going to make 3, and I'm going to make the bottom one bigger. Now the kids are not going to be able to cut these out all together, but for the purposes of this demonstration, I have mine all folded together, and I'm just going to go ahead and do that. All right, they're all cut out. So now I have 3 of these, and I'm going to show you how to connect them. All you do is you put them back to back. You can staple it for the kids, or you can have them glue them. But I guarantee you, if you have the kids glue them, they're going to glue them together incorrectly, and then they won't stand up. So I like to do this part for them. And it's easier if you don't have them make their snowman until after it's stuck together. Okay, so see, now it stands up, and they can begin to decorate it. And that is it. So I hope you found this interesting. So if you liked this content and if you got anything out of it, which I hope you did, please like, subscribe, and share. See you next time.